Hi, I'm back. Today, like I said, we're going to do a neutral look using all drugstore cosmetics. I'm going to begin with the eyes. I've already put foundation and concealer and powdered my face, so we're going to get in with the eyes really quickly. I used this palette by L'Oreal. It's called Neutrals, and the number is 821, as you can see here. You'll also see that it's numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll start with 1 on the crease, 2 will go on the brow bone, right under the arch of your eyebrow. 3 will go into the crease here, and 4 will go onto the outside section of the crease and under the eye for the evening look that I've got already on this side of my face. To begin with, though, we'll be using this flat shader brush. Looks like this. I got this one from Target. It was really cheap and easy to find, and it's a really great brush. I was surprised. So you'll put this on right here on the lid and just sort of sweep it across. It's really simple to use. And then I'll go in with number 2, which is the highlight color, and it goes under the brow bone just here. So you can sort of divide your eye in half. The top half of your eye would be the brow bone, the bottom half of the eye would be the lid. Next, I'm going to apply number 3 using this brush here. This is by Sonia Kashuk. It's a crease brush. Hence you'll put it in the crease. If you're having trouble finding your crease, what you'll do is you think of it as being the section in between the eyeball and the brow bone. It kind of is a indentation in between the two of them. You can actually fit a brush right into it like that and then wiggle it back and forth. Now I start using sort of circular motions to spread the color around, and then a windshield wiper motion to spread it and use basic shading. So now that number 3 is done, I'm going to pull out another brush. This is by a company called Essence of Beauty. It came in a 2-pack. We have the larger version of it, but it also has a smaller version. So if you put the two together, you can see one's a lot bigger than the other. I'll use this on number 4 in the outside section of the eye. I like to begin right near where the eyelid meets the bottom section of the eye and just sort of pat it in, circular motions again to spread it around a bit, and then a slight windshield wiper motion. And you're only going to cover about 1/3 of the eye. This is as far as I'm going with this color, so back and forth to about here. It just adds some depth and dimension. You're almost done with this part of the eye. But before we go into using number 4 on the bottom section of the eye, I'm pulling out a brown eyeliner. This is by CoverGirl. You can see it's well used. Perfect blend eyeliner. I found it to be really, like it says, easy to blend. It's very soft, and I'll use this on the top of the eye, on the lid. And I start out with the center and then work my way from the inside out. The inside gets a really fine line, and the outside I go thicker. It just creates a little more depth on the outside of the eye, draws the eye outward, makes it look larger, and there you go. You can see you've got a slight little wing on the outside. That's just a little flick that I used. And then for the underside of the eye, the lower lid, I'm going to do what's called lining the water line. So basically you've got the lash line where all your lashes are, and the water line is that little bit of skin in between there and the actual eye itself. You'll have to be careful because it's really easy to poke yourself in the eye with this one. Just don't go too quickly at first. Make sure you have a mirror. And there you go. You can see the difference that it makes already. Then we're going to go back to the quad, and with the smaller of the Essence of Beauty brushes, I'm going to dip that into number 4, and you're going to want to cover the eyeliner that you put on the waterline with the powder so it has more staying power. So I just go in really gently, patting that into place, You don't want to move the eyeliner around too much. So just sort of pat that into place, and then take it into the lash line here and draw it up a little bit to sort of elongate. And that is what creates your smoky look, is using the bit of eyeshadow underneath the eye. So next, after we've done all of that, I like to go in with the brows afterwards, because you don't want any sort of powder or any kind of hairs from your brows dipping down into your wet mascara. That's kind of hard to clean up. So I do all the messy work first and then go back and do mascara afterwards. For the eyebrows, I like to use a Rimmel pencil. It looks kind of like this in the stores. It's got a brush on the end, and for my hair color I use the color called Hazel. It's 02. So I'll go in, I'll use the brush part, and I'll brush my eyebrows into the shape that I want. It's just a really classic shape, nothing funny. And I'll go back in with the pencil section and lightly draw in. I just sort of use small strokes, mimicking what hair would look like, with a fairly light touch. I don't want to look like I've Sharpied in my eyebrows with a Sharpie marker. It's not the look that I'm going for at this time, although for other times it might be appropriate. And then I'll go back with a brush and go through and sort of blend that in, so you can't really detect that it's pencil. It's got a really good staying power. I have worn this through hot Savannah summer days and workouts and all kinds of stuff like that, and it won't budge.